What's happening, guys? UFC 308. This weekend, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in Abu Dhabi, so looking forward to it. As that card from top to bottom, the prelims as well, some mad fights. I'm really looking forward to getting over there. I'll be there nice and early, watching them all. I've got a few fights to go over. I'm going to go over a few in the prelims and a few on the main card as well. I'm going to start off with Farid, Basharat, and Hugo. So the reason why I wanted to do this one is I sort of met Basharat, Farid. I met him in Manchester. So I might have even told you about what happened. So Magomed and him were, something was going on. I don't know. There must have been some sort of beef and a little bit of something happened. He was trying to get to Magomed. We're in the hotel, the security there, people there. And last thing I want is fighters getting in trouble and having to get out of jail and things like that. So here I am trying to, I'll be a hero, try and stop it a couple of times. So I remember going to grab him like, enough, don't want to, sort of get in trouble. And Bobby ends up like sort of getting just slipped out of my hands. I was like, oh man, this guy's slippery. Then again, I'm like, man, relax. And then he went to go at him again. He wasn't aggressive. He was actually really good. He just wanted to get to MVP. Even with the security guards were grabbing. He was just slipping through everybody. So his takedown defense is on point, is why I'm pretty much talking about it and saying why I'm going to pick him up. He impressed me that day. I even went for even a bit of it wasn't a double leg. I went to grab him again. He sort of slipped out. I've sort of like went for the bit of the double leg. We've both almost ran into the bottom of the stairs and just slipped out again and got away. So he was just people falling over everywhere off this guy. So that was pretty impressive to me. So I'm like, you know what? I'll be backing that guy next time he fights, because I even had a chat with him afterwards. He was a cool dude. I'm like going, sort of having a laugh about it. He goes, yeah, I was blowing out and I didn't, I was like, is that Volko like trying to tackle me right now? And we had a bit of a laugh. So he's a good dude. And again, 12-0, undefeated. So it's pretty impressive. But again, like I'm going off, something little here. But I mean, even though I end up watching a little bit, and he's the kid's the real deal. So I thought I'm going to chuck that in there, and I'm going to go for Farid for the win there. So there's one of my predictions there. Farid, Basharat, great takedown defense. He's good jiu-jitsu in that as well. So he's going to be good on top. But even if the guy tries to take him down, don't worry, he ain't getting taken down. I've got his back on that one. All right, next one we're going to talk about is Justin Tafa and Kennedy. So Justin Tafa, obviously known well from down under. He's a good lad, powerful dude. We know whenever I'm betting for Justin Tafa, we go for the KO, right? Like there's only one way Tafa likes to fight, and that's bang and get that finish, and get that finish early most of the time. Obviously, every time he fights, he's doing well. He's doing well, so the competition's going to get more and more, but I still think he can go out there and put the guy's lights out, you know what I mean? So that's what he's going to be looking for. I think he can get it done. So I'm going to go with Justin Tafa again for the win, but we'll go with KO. The last fight in the prelims that I will go with is Geoff Neal, Dos Santos, RDA. RDA, man, like he's still got it. Geoff Neal's, this is a tough one for me to pick, but I feel like Rafael Dos Santos can get this one done. I think he can, with a bit of a wrestling control, doing the right stuff, I think he can get through it. I think he can get the win. A bit of a war work control. Does he get it to the ground? Obviously, he's got a good jiu-jitsu, good grappling. Geoff Neal's no joke. Geoff Neal can hit hard. I'm going to have to go with RDA. This is a tough one, but I think I'm going to go with RDA. I'm probably looking at a decision here. But I think RDA does it right. I think his experience is going to go well in this. He's going to need it against someone like Geoff Neal. So I'm going to go with RDA. I think he'll use all his tools with this one and just probably edge the win. So I'm expecting Geoff Neal to have his moments or looking dangerous, but I feel like the experience might be enough for RDA to get the victory. So that's what I'm going with on that one. Now, I want to do 4 fights. I want to do the top 4 for the main card. So I'm going to start off with Ankalaev and Rakić. Man, it's hard to bet against Ankalaev. Rakić obviously is a good fighter. Impressive. He was on an impressive win streak as well before his last one. His last one was Yuri, I'm pretty sure, his last fight. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I think that was his last fight. He was still looking pretty good in there, but Yuri did his thing. I just think Ankalaev, He's got all the tools. He can wrestle if he wants to. He usually doesn't have to. He's a southpaw. He uses his southpaw very well. Every time you hear me talk about Ankalaev, he's a very safe sort of fighter. You know, he loves his check hook. He loves trying to take advantage of the southpaw. He uses it well. Yeah, he plays it safe and does that well. I think that might be enough to get him the win here. If he feels like he's having troubles on the feet, he can always go to the ground. And he will. So, yeah, he ain't going to take any unnecessary risk. He's going to do what he needs to do. It's 3 round, I think he does. He just wins all 3 rounds. I'm going to go with probably a decision win for Ankalaev. But yeah, win. Yeah, we're going to go Ankalaev for the win on that one. Now, odds. What's the odds for that one? Give me the odds. $4. Or so he's a big underdog. And rightfully so. I think it's just purely on Ankalaev. The reason why he's such a hot favourite is because he's very safe as well. They pick him winning. And the odds are going to be that far him winning is just because he's a very safe fighter as well. He doesn't take unnecessary risk. So I think that plays into it. You know, you get some people that are hot favourites just because of how good they are, right? Like just because there's a lot of hype and things like that. And the guy they're fighting, you know, they don't know too much about him and things like that. But with some fighters, they're hot favourites because, you know, it's very hard to see them losing. You know, can they be knocked out? It's going to be hard. Can they be out-wrestled? It's going to be hard. You know, can they work on, you know, slow him down, you know, work on his gas tank and slow him down, grind him down? It's going to be hard. So all ways of winning against Ankalaev, you know, is going to be tough. So that's why you feel he's going to be a hot favourite in this one. And it makes sense. So let's go with Lerone Murphy and Dan Ige. Featherweights. So impressive record from Murphy. Dan Ige, obviously experienced. Gamer, took his last fight on, or was his last fight would have been the short notice one, right? Or did he fight again after that? He might have fought again after that. Man, he's been active if that's the case. That was the one that was 300, UFC 300. Yeah, he fought not long after that, I'm pretty sure. So then I could be wrong, again, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, but yeah, same day, you know, a few hours and he takes on the fight.
It doesn't matter, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 hours! It doesn't matter! This is what I live for.
And looked great against Diego Lopez. So, yeah, so this one's going to be an interesting fight, but I think I'm going to go with Murphy. I haven't watched a heap on Murphy, but I feel like I've watched enough to, you know, he's on a bit of a tear. I think he is on his way up. I think the timing is, you know, good for him on someone like Dan Ige. I think Dan Ige again is someone that you need to be good. You need to be one of the top guys to sort of take him out. So this is going to be a good test for Murphy, but I'm going to pick Murphy. I think it will be. Yeah, Dan Ige is tough, so I think it's going to be another decision with this one. I'm going to go with Murphy decision win, but again, Dan Ige, he's shown he can finish. He's shown he can win fights on decision, as like he can just beat the people everywhere, can, you know, even out-grapple some people, outstrike some people, knock them clean out. So he's got it all, so that can happen. But I think the Murphy is the safest bet. Who's the favourite? Yeah, so he's a bit of a favourite. So I'm going with a few of the favourites here. I might be going favourite, and I'm not going favourites on all of them, because the next two I don't think I'm going the favourites. I'll find out in a second. But Murphy, the favourite. In the main card right now, I've got two of the favourites, Ankalaev and Murphy. I think they're going to be your safest bets on them ones. All right, now let's get into the co-main event. Who is a favourite? Chimaev is a favourite. What's he paying? $1.48. $2.66. So for you guys in America, I don't know how that works. Minus something, plus whatever. I don't know. You figure that out. But this is where I am going to probably go with the underdog. Again, Khamzat, absolute savage. Man, I just watched him doing some of that training with the Olympic wrestler. The Olympic wrestler, gold medalist, 2024, recently, not that long. So the guy's in good nick. The guy's in his prime, legit, just won a gold medal. And you watch a bit of the training and could not believe how good Khamzat was doing with him. I don't know if it was just a little bit, I only seen a little bit of footage. I don't even care if that was the only good thing that Chimaev did, that whole wrestle. When you're talking about Olympic wrestlers that have been wrestling their whole life, you don't barely ever get one up on these guys. And Chimaev was able to still even flip him over and do some pretty cool stuff. The scramble that I seen was impressive. So that was, man, Chimaev's in good nick. You know, I think he's healthy. You know, he's obviously missed out on a couple of fights. I think he's healthy. I think he's going to make the fight. But Robert Whittaker, he knows he's in for a tough fight. He knows Khamzat's going to bring it. He knows Khamzat's going to be very aggressive, come forward. He's going to, you know, heavy wrestling. So we know Robert Whittaker's going to be well prepared for that. I said this last time they were meant to fight, and I was talking about I picked Robert Whittaker to win then, because just he's expecting the best version of Khamzat. He knows what's coming at him. So I guarantee you their preparation, remember Romero, his training camp for that would have just been hard wrestling, takedown defense. So we know he's got great takedown defense. Very hard to take down. He's been working on that for years, and then he's absolutely nailed it. He probably, whether, it's maybe the Dricus one, was he maybe a little bit comfortable? Again, not taking enough away from Dricus. Dricus has proven himself time and time again. But, maybe, it was a bit more of a surprise as well. So, if he was expecting Dricus to come so aggressive and, be that type of fighter and be that strong, he maybe would have, if they fight again, I guarantee you he's going to try and prepare more for that strength. And I guarantee you with Khamzat, there's no secret. He's coming at you, he's coming aggressive, he's strong, very good grappler, very, very good wrestling. Control is next level. So there are going to be moments where he's going to be having a hold of Robert Whittaker. I think we're going to see stuff on the cage, probably going to get behind him. Maybe riding, maybe re-rolls. We're going to see a couple of scrambles like that, but I feel like there'll be a position where, I feel like getting Robert Whittaker on his back, pinning him and that is going to be pretty hard. And then Robert Whittaker's got some decent grappling anyway, so he can throw submissions if he had to. Getting him there is very hard though. Even for someone like Chimaev, might find it very hard to pin Robert Whittaker. Will he get him down? I think he does get him to a butt. I think he does get him to his knees. Does he get him flat on his back? I don't know. So I don't think so. And you could imagine Chimaev's going to go for it. He's going to get him down. He's going to keep trying to get him down. Robert Whittaker in his fights with Romero, you've seen him was able to, his defense was very good and save energy while he was doing it as well. Didn't exert, no, it wasn't exerting, don't even know if I said that right. It's pretty late over here. We got our early flight in the morning. Yeah, he wasn't using too much energy throughout the scrambles and that process. So I feel like that's going to be the same here. It is a 5-rounder. I think I got told it's a 5-rounder. It is a 5-rounder. 5-rounder as well. I don't know if everyone knew that. Most of you probably did. But a 5-rounder, massive. That's a big, I'm surprised it's still favourite for Chimaev because of that. We know Chimaev is an absolute killer, absolute savage. But we know he can slow down. Is he well prepared? 100%. But he's going to be going balls to wall. He's aggressive. That's why he's so exciting. That's why he's so dangerous as well. But I feel like Robert Whittaker can weather the storm early, and he's going to have to. I'm expecting there to be a storm, and Robert Whittaker, for him to win, has to weather the storm. Has to be able to deal with that, and I think he will. So I'm going to go with Robert Whittaker for the win. Safest bet is win because he's the underdog. I can see maybe a finish. Honestly, I can see maybe a finish later rounds. Robert Whittaker is very dangerous once he slows him down on the feet. If Chimaev slows down and they're standing in front of him, that could be a big problem later rounds, 4th and 5th round for Chimaev. And, I can easily see a late finish for Robert Whittaker if he does tire. So let's see how Chimaev goes. Obviously, it's middleweight. He's not doing a big cut. If his gas tank holds up, Rob Whittaker's in for a tough fight for 5 rounds, but I feel like the early rounds are going to be very tough for Rob Whittaker, but I feel like it starts to change pretty quickly. I think he's going to weather the storm and start to have his way and start picking his shots and maybe find the finish in them later rounds. So there you go. There's my prediction for the co-main. Now, obviously the fight that everyone's interested to see. I'm obviously interested to see. I know I got next on that title. So Ilia, Topuria and Max Holloway. Great fight. I think Max Holloway's an underdog. What is he paying? $2.80. What's $1.43? So similar to the last odds. So I'm going the 2 underdogs here. I'm going with Max. And I've already, people have already asked me this a while ago, so everyone knows sort of my take on this, as in who I'm picking. I just think, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but you beat Max 3 times and Ilia beat you. That's obviously not how things work. But Ilia did well. He beat me, right? He caught me, and he's got powerful hands. We knew I knew if I was ever going to be beat, it was him catching me. That's just how it is, and that's how it is going to be with Max Holloway, I believe. I think he has to catch Max Holloway to win, and he can do it. Obviously, he's got great hands and great power. So when I do this isn't knocking him. It's just, with guys like, myself or Max, for you to just beat us, as in like for 5 rounds and when it comes to skill and technique and all that, now do us the whole fight, you need to show us. And he actually obviously did well in my fight again. I'm going to say I'm not taking nothing away from him. I don't want to sound salty, But I just think that Max has proven himself time and time again. We know he's got a great chin. So that's one thing that I think that Ilia needs to try and crack that chin and take him out. Because later rounds is going to get very tough for Ilia, especially with someone like Max that's just going to keep going. Max can do it all day. And we know Max has got a great chin. So that's why, even if Ilia does crack him, does it put Max's lights out? Man, I've tried. A lot of people have tried to take that chin out, and it is tough. Ilia does have very beautiful hands, beautiful boxing, so he can definitely crack that chin. Can he? Let's see. That's going to be the question. Can Ilia crack that chin and get the win from a knockout? I just think that's going to be tough. 15-0, very impressive record for Ilia. He does supposedly have some wrestling and grappling, a lot of people are like, oh no, he's still got a lot of that. But Max Holloway's takedown defense is next level as well. Very, very hard to get down. Very, very hard to hold down. Very seasoned everywhere. So he's proven himself time and time again. That's why I'm actually very surprised he's the underdog. If you look at the depth of it, I think if you look at it as Ilia beat Alex and Alex beat Max 3 times. Ilia's going to win. I guess it's easy to throw odds like that, but you look deep into it. Stylistically, this is going to be a pretty tough fight for Ilia. I think Max can slow him down and either maybe get a finish towards the end. He won't get a finish earlier because Ilia's tough. He's going to stick to his guns. Even in our fight when I was landing some clean shots, obviously I wanted to fight my fight, but I was trying to get myself in it, and I was trying to rev myself up, and I'd land some shots and I'd land a nice clean jabs, but he was just stoic through it all and just wasn't phased with it, just kept pursuing forward, kept stuck to his guns. So I don't think he's going to be rattled too much by what Max does earlier, but once he starts to feel that gas tank, once that gas tank starts, I'm cracking him, it's not doing much, he's starting to land on me, I can't get my takedowns, I'm really breathing heavy now, that's when you're going to start to see things change. That won't happen early. That's going to have to happen maybe second round, third round. You'll start to see him slow down, and then start to maybe freak out because of those things. Not freak out because Max is landing on him or he's not landing. He's going to be stoic early on, but I think he's going to really start to feel it as the fight goes on. And I'm going to go with Max Holloway. I think decision would be the best bet, or just Max to win because he's the underdog. If you really wanted to go all out, I think him going for getting a finish would be paying big. Do you know what that's paying? Max Holloway for a finish, later rounds. I can see it later on, wearing on him, and maybe just volume and the ref just stopping it, just being too much, because it's going to be that type of fight, I think. Max KO $6. Can you do like four or five round? Round 4 or 5?
4 is $31.
Yeah. So
round 5 it's 34.
So later rounds, obviously you got your money if you want to do a little sneaky bet there. You know what I mean? Hey, gamble responsibly. I tell you this every time, but I'm just saying if you want to throw a little bit there, that can happen. Decision, what's decision? $5.70. Okay. I think that's going to be your best bet. But I mean, now your best bet is definitely Max for the win. Maybe in the co-main and main event, you can go 2 underdogs. Good little parlay there. But yeah, I think Max Holloway for the win. Decision is going to be there. Of course, that's a high possibility. It's $5. And the later KOs, I think for value, very good. I think decision more likely, but can easily see late finishes, round 5 or round 4. He's not going to just knock him out. I just think he starts to wear, starts landing a lot, missing punches, maybe that starts to happen, just where the ref just like, all right, that's enough. But I mean, that's definitely not happening earlier. Ilia's going to be strong for them first couple of rounds. He needs to tire before that starts to happen. So it's definitely going to be in the later rounds if that does happen. But again, Ilia's has proven himself. He's a champ. But I just mean with someone as experienced as Max, the chin that he's got, Max is gonna turn up. You know what I mean, and bring the fight to him. So let's see if Ilia does it. Mate, that's going to be very, very impressive. So I'll be looking forward to taking out the winner, whoever it is. Who do I think? Obviously, I want in Sydney, right? I want to fight in Sydney. If Max wins, Does he fight in Sydney? I think he does. I think he would fight in Sydney. But is he going to do BMF? Is he going to do lightweight? I doubt he's going to want to do a featherweight straight away. I reckon he's going to want to do lightweight. I'm just trying to be realistic with this one. So does that open doors for an interim? Yeah, I think so, because I want to fight in Sydney, you know what I mean? And, you know, obviously I did that when I was doing the lightweight thing. I let the boys do, you know, Josh Emmett and Yair do the interim fight. So I'm sure that, you know, that's something that we could do, and while he does his thing, and then we just fight whenever we can. If Ilia wins, does he fight in Sydney? No, let's be real. He's not going to fight in Sydney. Man, I've fought in enemy territory my whole title fights. I've only had one at home, but you know, you can't blame a lot of people. I get it, but I mean, that's just not me. I'll fight anyone anywhere. I think it'll be a massive fight in Australia, whoever it is that wins, even with Ilia. Because, you know, fair enough, you had a choice between Spain and Australia. You're going to go with Spain, but that's just not the option right now. So Sydney would be the next best thing. I think that'll make it so much bigger. But will he fight me in Australia? I don't think so. So I don't know. Does that mean I just fight him somewhere else? I'm not sure. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm fighting the winner. I don't care. That's that. But I appreciate you all. Let me know your predictions. And let me know your thoughts on what I had to say about it. Let me know if I got some of the facts wrong. I know I asked you guys a couple of times through the video whether I was right on a couple of things. Let me know. I appreciate you all. And enjoy the fight. It's going to be a good one.